Lansing. All right, I'll tell you how tall it is. I went to Wikipedia. Oh, somebody's disappointed, I'm telling you. It rises 267 feet in elevation. And as I was thinking, how am I going to describe how tall Mount Everest is? Well, Mount Everest is 29,035 feet in elevation, and if you stacked 109 of your capitals on top of one another, that's how tall Mount Everest is. So there you have it. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. To the Sherpa people who live beneath her shadows, she's known as Sagamihara, Mother Goddess of the world. To mountaineers, this mountain represents one of the grandest prizes in mountaineering. But you have to understand that as a climber, you stand only 25% chance of reaching the top of Mount Everest, and a good chance of getting slammed in the process. But if you think about it, this is not so unlike the affordable housing industry these days. And when the statistics are this high, it demands an incredible amount of partnering with your teammates and leadership, not only for our success, but our very survival. So today, we are going to climb to the top of Mount Everest. But you can sit back and relax, because I have saved you, at this point of the climb, about 45 days and a lot of sweat and pain. Scott Fisher, Hugh Bell, Les Krause, and I were climbing towards the top. It was our summit day. It was our summit day. It was absolutely crystal clear. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. And I remember thinking to myself, nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop us. I would count my steps, 1, 2, 49, 50. I would pause. I would look out at the horizon. I could see some of the highest mountains in the world far below us. And then when I thought I couldn't take another step, I remember looking up towards the summit. I could see it glistening in the sunlight. And that's when I would remind myself why I was there. And then I would turn back into the hill and continue counting my steps, 1, 2, 49, 50. At one point I paused and I looked out and my heart fell to my feet. Because what I saw was a bank of black clouds was moving very rapidly in towards us. This is the one thing that could stop us. It's also the one thing we had absolutely no control over. We had a decision to make. Do we go up or do we go down? Do we pursue our goal regardless of the consequences? Or do we play it safe? Now some of you might be thinking, well, it's a little brainer to me. You turn around. Well, you have to understand that emotionally, this was a very difficult decision. Personally, I've been dreaming about climbing Mount Everest for 6 years. We just spent 2.5 years preparing for this mountain. 45 days on the climb. To imagine giving all of that up and turning around. I just couldn't get that from my head. Well, reality in the mountains is that we can't sit out a major storm up high. Reality is that we did have to go back down. How many times do we get so caught up in our business that we forget to look around us? This storm moved in quickly. We had a decision to make. We couldn't just, let's just wait and see what happens. We couldn't do that. We had to make a decision quickly. We have to look up constantly, assess, reassess, objectively, what is going on in our lives. And don't you all find that with your situations, your organizations, as leaders? And I'm calling all of you in this room leaders to, regardless of what your position is within your organization. We have to constantly look up, assess, and reassess, and change to meet the situation. Because what happens when the external environment changes and we're not ready for it? All of a sudden, our options are narrowed. We couldn't go up, we had to go down. The 4 of us, however, decided not to go all the way down to the bottom of the mountain. We decided to go down to our next lowest camp.